Hello, I'm Neha Cherian, an editor with the Fifth Estate. Today I have with me Sayash Raj, who is contesting for the post of Institute Students General Secretary. Sayash, the first question for you. Over the last couple of months, there have been several complaints that information disseminated by a secretary through Instagram is counterintuitive. The mailing list may have bugs, but there are several people who are either not on Instagram or who aren't notified on Instagram. How do you plan to disseminate information in a way that is accessible to every student?
So I agree with the question. So one of the points in the manifesto is a vote-based grievances public system, right? So their students can raise complaints, and it will be a transparent process with the complaints being visible to everyone from the institute, including the secretaries and the GSB. So it's also a bidirectional communication channel, wherein the secretaries uh, can themselves post their own FAQs, or maybe some posts with information that is frequently asked by students, which which will eliminate the obstacles that we face while disseminating information through Instagram or by the mailing list, which might have bugs. That's it.
Okay, the next question. Do you think WhatsApp is an appropriate or efficient platform to resolve problems and address queries? How will you ensure all of the students' queries will be answered, considering that there are several channels of communication?
So no, I don't think that WhatsApp is an appropriate or efficient platform for answering queries of the GSB, which is also something that I have highlighted in the manifesto in the BSDS app. So it solves a different problem, but with the same root cause, which is an indeterminate audience penetration through WhatsApp. So again, the vote based public grievances system that is also in the manifesto aims towards creating a central repository of sorts where students can raise their problems and that can be answered, which will be visible to all. Seeing that transparency is being prioritized on the platform, and that everyone has access to all the questions and the answers. So again, all the students' queries would be answered in a transparent manner, and also there would be an archival system wherein students can access the questions which have been answered previously.
Okay, moving on. Over the last few years, and especially during the pandemic, several members of the GSP have been of the opinion that dialogue between the SGS and the administration is very opaque to the students. Do you agree or disagree? As a student's representative, how do you plan to ensure transparency in representing the students to the administration?
The pandemic was unexpected, and it came with challenges which had not been anticipated by anyone. Transparency, efficiency, and innovation are what I aim for as the SGS. And the same query had been raised by several SGS teams in my communication with them about the admin not being responsive enough to them. So one of the things that I would aim for would be to have a single responsive point of contact for each of the teams that fall under the SGS, like Sathi, I will, EML, and yeah, that's basically what I would aim for.
Okay. In your manifesto, you have proposed a grievance redressal mechanism that is vote based. What if someone has a serious issue but it does not gain public traction? Doesn't the problem get deprioritized? What assurance can you give that this mechanism will not devolve into a Reddit or GoFundMe?
I partially agree. Limited moderation would be required, and that is something doable and thought of for the application. A vote-based system helps prevent exactly the problem that has been stated in the question, which is a certain query being flooded by repetition of other queries and being lost in a sea of queries, right? So all queries would be answered, that's for sure. And the vote-based system basically just prioritizes a major problem that affects a larger group of people. That does not mean that the queries with less number of votes would not be answered. That is not true. And again, an archival system, as told before, along with limited moderation features, would help solve this problem.
Now, your manifesto does not look quite refined, perhaps because you applied at such short notice after the unanimous candidate was unable to contest. Given this, how would you justify your candidature and assure the GSP that you will be able to do a good job?
I would not easily accept the opinion that my manifesto was not quite above par. I would rather focus on the contents of the manifesto than the design aspects of it. The previous candidature was someone that in my opinion would have brought great change in INSTI. And so yeah. And also I rose to the occasion when no one else did in INSTI, right? I rose to the occasion and applied to become your SGS because I think I can bring real change. And in times of difficulty, if someone rises to the occasion, if that does not justify his or her candidature, I hope their work does. And that goes the same for me. That's it.
Thank you, Sayash, and good luck.